Well, I don't really know what to tell you.
You see, Mondo's doing 6.5-inch Ghostbusters.
I didn't. But hi, everybody. This is Matt from Shadow Moses 112. um, for now, I'm the producer of our YouTube presence, and we might be changing that or something. I don't know. This is the third week I've said that, but uh, we fear change. So yeah, I do stuff, and then I'm here with Pete.
Hi guys, Pete, Shadow Moses 112, the guy all your complaints come to.
Whoa, we didn't even preface that before we went online. But no, I didn't see that Mondo was doing a 6.5-inch scale.
6.5-inch scale Ghostbusters figures, apparently.
I mean, that's kind of cool they're doing Ghostbusters, but what the fuck is that scale? That's really weird.
It's like Marvel
Uh,
Legends.
I I get are they calling it a 1/12 figure or the 6-inch figure?
It just the one thing I read said 6.5-inch. It didn't say anything specific about it
Okay,
being
well,
one.
you made me second guess if you're throwing your justified bias in there. I understand why you say that, but uh that's why I just like call them domestic figures or whatever. But yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to is there any news on them or anything? Like I haven't heard.
I'd have to dig it up. So let's talk about our first topic, and then I will pull that up while we're talking.
What's that first topic?
I have no idea. You're the guy.
Oh, okay, well I thought you had something you wanted to talk about.
I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Boo.
So of course, Monday the Deadpool Wolverine trailer came out. So that was cute. I watched that at work. Um and it's kind of interesting that at least the trailer I saw was a red band trailer. So like immediately we have them like dropping F bombs and everything like that. So like even in the trailers we've strayed from the path of Disney, which is nice to see. I don't know if people were still concerned that it wasn't going to be like that, but yeah, they said fuck a lot of times in the trailer. I'm curious to see what exactly this story is for Wolverine. There's this is going to be a lot. It's like it looks like it will lead to the start of Secret Wars, but it's also like its own Civil War size movie. Like we've reached a midpoint of like phase 4, and like this is the movie that's coming to rock the boat. So I'm really curious to see the impact of this. And then actually I have to mention one thing because last week I was shitting on all the TV shows, and right there in the trailer we see Eliath from Loki season
Yeah.
1. And I was like, holy fuck, we're finally using this thing. Like I was stoked when I saw Eliath and Loki because I actually knew what that thing was from a comic I randomly had where the Avengers were doing it was part of the Kang story with Ravana, and she like betrays Kang so that she could take over the dynasty at the end. Like it's but anyway, long story short, Eliath is in it and it's an Avengers level threat. So I'm curious to see how that plays into this. And then the way that they stop Eliath in the comic is through this key that eventually turns into like this giant. And I'm really curious to see if they're going to do something like that in the future of the MCU to stop Eliath, like this ever growing thing fighting this all consuming thing. And if they do that, what is that? What is going to be the thing that stops Eliath? So I'm really curious about that, if it even goes down that road. But we have so much other stuff in that trailer. We see what looks like a variant of the Ancient One as the villain. Am I right?
From what I understand, it is Cassandra Nova, which is Charles Xavier's twin sister.
Okay. The way she was dressed, she looked like the Ancient One. So that's why I was like kind of curious. We also see a lot of Doctor Strange magic effects going on there. But I'm kind of curious to see if throughout the movie, Deadpool is literally just stealing shit every which way he can to just kind of make things work. Um, But we also have that set piece, which looks like it's prepping for a showdown, where you have the giant man helmet in the background that someone's using as a lair, which was its own crazy thing. Um, what else? It looks like I don't know if anything else has touched on it, but like when there's the scene where Logan and Deadpool are fighting, it looks like a 20th Century Fox logo in the background, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
I wanted to make sure that wasn't just me because like that's what it really looks like.
So the rumor mill says that the Fox universe is getting pruned for some reason, which is why we see Pyro make his return, Azrael or Azazel, I'm sorry, return.
Okay.
We see a bunch of villains from that era in the trailer in front of that Ant-Man helmet, as a matter of fact.
I'm really curious. Oh, sorry.
Keep going. I was going to say Cassandra Nova apparently has claimed ownership of not only that group, but Alioth as well. And the rumor is that the TVA needs Deadpool because not only is he indispensable, but he's also able to heal himself and probably one of the few people that can do it. And she could potentially wreak Alioth because he is a extra multiverse, or how do you say it? Beyond the multiverse villain that could help consume other things in the timeline. So
I'm curious if this is how they're going to get mutants into the MCU by salvaging what's left of that dead Fox universe that Logan failed, or Wolverine. I keep calling him Logan, but I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that. And then what they could do, actually, what they really could do and they should do is Wade shows up with the taco truck, but it's full of the Flurkin cats, and then they just use the Flurkin cats.
Fuck those Flurkin cats. Stupid fucking beeline.
Oh my god. My friend just finally watched that and he said it was not good. I was like, it's okay. It's a good movie. It's not great by any means, but overall it's good. The problem is it's another one that they were just just make a sequel. But yeah.
I'm excited for it. A lot of rumors. Apparently Chris Evans is supposed to return, but not as Captain America.
Robert Downey Jr. said that he'd be open to returning as Iron Man, like in the MCU. There's so many different things that they could play around with, even as one-offs, just for this movie, because it's probably going to dip through as many universes as we saw in Multiverse of Madness. This is probably how they're going to step into an actual multiverse of madness rather than just dabble in like 2 or 3 of them.
The unpopular opinion, as much as I love Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, I think I'm ready for a recast for everybody.
I'm fine with that, honestly. I don't necessarily think any of them need to come back. And I would like to see other people get a chance to step into their roles because, Iron Man, Captain America, they're like the big names, but there are other people that lead the Avengers. Hawkeye leads the East Coast Avengers. I think Jeremy Renner's about done with the MCU, but my point is that we have other things that can happen. And then we have this Young Avengers piece of trash that is happening. I don't give a shit about teen protagonists. Thunderbolts is going to be its own weird thing. So despite being a relatively quiet year for Marvel, like what they're putting out this year is huge. I think it's really gonna try and set a new tone for the upcoming release schedule.
Yeah.
And then what you were saying last week, I think, was how Feige wants to slow down the releases and like take more time and be more disciplined with them and actually invest the amount of time that it takes to make a fucking good movie and shit. So I don't know. We'll see.
I know Feige's a big fanboy. I don't think the bad movie strings were intentional. I think it was just that they were having too much fun, man. They were just like, all right, let's make some fun fucking movies, and it bit them in the ass because I don't know. Although the movies should be fun to an extent, they were just the latest content has been like really silly and a little lazy in their plots.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Marvel's always had like a villain problem. I could talk about Ultron, how terrible that movie I thought it was.
I fucking love Ultron, but I understand your complaint. Absolutely.
Other than that, man, I think Deadpool's gonna be awesome.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm willing to. I can't wait to see what actually happens with if all the rumors come true and they try to jam all this stuff in there.
That's another thing though. Is like you just talked about like stop having so much fun, but
Right.
this is the movie where you could have so much fun,
Right.
and Deadpool kind of gives you that leeway to fuck around a bit. I think that another comparison is actually like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where
Right.
they had too much fun because that movie's a piece of shit. Yeah.
At what point did you tune out and you were just like, this movie sucks?
I don't remember. I've only watched it twice. The second time, I didn't hate it as much the second time, but like I still didn't like it. And
there's definitely peaks and valleys.
I mean, they have this big fight, and then he turns into fucking Pac-Man.
Yeah, that kind of tuned me out a little bit.
I also like the whole thing with Taserface and the fake laugh is so fucking stupid. And then him using all the traps in the woods on all the Ravagers. Like you beat the shit out of this joke 10 minutes ago, and it's only a 3-minute joke. Nebula and Gamora's story was actually worth it. Like we saw a lot of development in Nebula in that movie, and like I think that's one of the most evolving characters that we've had, next to maybe the Winter Soldier. I don't know any other one. I mean, we kind of see that arc for what was his face in Guardians 3. I can't think of his name. Adam Warlock. We kind of saw we got a bit of an arc, really as like a C story in Guardians 3, but we got enough FaceTime with Warlock to kind of get a feel for him. I don't think that they did that poorly. I think that he had just enough time to be there and for us to kind of see internal struggles that were going on with him.
Yeah, I would say that they did do it poorly because I don't care to see him again. Like if he never comes back in a movie, I'm just like, okay.
Well, it's tricky because they're going to have to start introducing new characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nova is one. Adam Warlock. They introduced Star Fox and his little troll friend, but like, I don't know who the hell that is. The Eternals wasn't a movie of entirely unknowns. This guy I know was saying that he thought Inhumans was gonna be like the Eternals type of thing, but that show fell apart really fast. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of curious things, but they're gonna need to start introducing characters that we're not familiar with, and then they're gonna need to sell them to us. And James Gunn is really good at that, especially if they're quirky characters. He's really good at establishing that brand, but the problem is then every movie is the same. I mean, I enjoy James Gunn's movies for the most part, but they're all kind of the same movie in the tone. Like super serious, then laughy, then super serious, then dramatic and laughy, and yeah. I don't know. We need to get some new directors out there too. Like fucking let Gareth Edwards do a damn movie. Get Martin Scorsese to do a Marvel movie. Anyway, speaking of directors, Alien is back in theaters for the 45th anniversary. I went and saw Godzilla again last night because it's a fun movie and it was cool to see in theaters. But when I was buying my ticket, I saw that Alien was actually put back in theaters on the 26th because it's now 45 years old. But there's also Alien Romulus coming up, and we only really get a very quick teaser trailer for it of like nightmarish alien themed things in space. But I'm really hoping that this is more of a return because the past Alien, quote unquote, Alien movies have just kind of been
Meh.
Dog water.
Dog
Like,
water.
what was it? What was it? Was Prometheus first, right? Prometheus, and then Alien Covenant. I
Listen,
think it
man,
was.
if you're not showing me aliens in the trailer, I don't care.
Alien Covenant actually went back and had a xenomorph, and it looked awesome. But like up until that xenomorph was born, it was just weird little mutant things, and like you lost the plot, dude. I get that you were trying to have like this origin story that was also kind of its own spin-off, but like fucking what's his face? He gets in his way too much. Uh that guy, you know his name. Anyway, yeah. Who the fuck? My mind keeps going to Roland Emmerich, but it's not Roland Emmerich. Uh anyway, you're useless to me.
I have no idea.
Furiosa is also coming out in 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think that one's 2 weeks. There's that, and then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I think that's late, like June. But I
I
think
really haven't heard much buzz about Furiosa.
I
They dropped that initial trailer and then that was it. It's like crickets.
think I've been seeing more stuff, but I don't know. I hope it's good because I like the Mad Max universe. I really liked Fury Road.
Okay. It says comes out May 24th.
May 24th. So what the fuck? Maybe Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is the 10th. Or yeah, something comes out on the 10th and I can't remember what it was. Now I'm curious.
May 8th is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh shit, it's that soon? Nice. I'm gonna have to see that. Oh fuck. I'm thinking of Quiet Place Day One.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. But I want to see that too because I've enjoyed those movies. Although Quiet Place Part 2 annoyed me because it's like people don't understand how to be quiet. Like you watch a movie where you have to like be the character has to not make all the noise in the world, and like they're so terrible at not being the loudest fucking thing around. Like there's always like something in the environment that'll make like a loud noise or something, but like the fact that characters are written to not understand how to shut the fuck up is really annoying to me. And that was constant in A Quiet Place Day or Part 2. But they also decided to make a baby, which is the loudest thing you can do. So I don't know. Maybe if there's an apocalypse where you have to shut the fuck up, don't make sex. I think that's all I have for movies.
I was gonna say on a long enough timeline though, how do you sustain the human population?
You have to make a baby at some point. I get it. But I'm also like, build an entire quiet room for the baby to go in.
Right.
I mean, they kind of prepared for it, but I don't think it was adequate. Like they made a little crib that was kind of soundproof, and it had a lid that they could put it on. And there's an oxygen mask. They kind of made their way around it, but like they didn't have a great backup plan for whatever went wrong when it did go wrong. I can't remember because it's been a while since I've seen the first one. But then they had the flea, so they're taking the baby on the run. But another movie that's coming back into theaters is Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which is why the artwork for today's episode is Jar Jar Binks doing that fucking stupid face. Because one, for some reason, they're putting back in the theaters for like the 20th anniversary, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But two, SHF through Premium Bandai and only available in Japan is releasing a Jar Jar Binks figure, which is great, cool. I don't know why they're doing it, and then it makes even less sense to me that they're doing it as a Japanese exclusive. I'm gonna pull it up now because it's SHF, and it actually looks like, despite being that character, it actually looks like a decent figure.
So I went down the rabbit hole with Jar Jar Binks. I wouldn't say recently, but a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
And apparently, the original story was to make him the overarching villain. And Star Wars, to an extent, is based on feudal Japan with regards to their fighting styles and their dress robes a little bit. Um, the influence behind Jar Jar Binks apparently was supposed to be like a drunken master of sorts, which is why you always see him being like a buffoon and kind of falling over himself.
That
But
actually makes a lot of sense.
there are some scenes where it looks like he and they went back and edited the actual dialogue out, but the movement is still there, where it looks like he is murmuring suggestions to other people to have them sway to his side. Which is why, and apparently in the movie there are some strange choices by the characters through dialogue, where they're being asked to do a certain thing and they're initially hesitant, but then they go along with it.
Right.
It's preceding the Jar Jar Binks scene, moving his mouth but no dialogue coming out. So ultimately this buffoon, and then turns out he's like a Sith Lord. I thought that would have been a cool heel turn, because when I saw this movie, I was like, this guy's fucking terrible. I hate him. And had you made that for like 2 movies where he's just like this character you don't care about, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he's like the baddest motherfucker there is.
That I think that is where the problem came in, though, is they went past that line. They had too much fun with Jar Jar and made him like this complete ass clown.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you've watched South Park, the whole Jack of Stars episode is based on Jar Jar Binks, and it's I love South Park, but that episode is so fucking annoying because you have all these jack-off stars just being just complete fucking mongoloids.
Well, apparently George Lucas caved into the backlash of Jar Jar Binks and completely rewrote his arc. So
I mean, thankfully, that's the only time that we've seen any cave-in from the studios when it came to Star Wars characters. For those who can't see, I'm fucking rolling my eyes so far back that George Lucas just fell out of his chair, because the same shit happened with Rose after The Last Jedi, which was a shit movie, but like, you don't have to fucking send death threats to people because you don't like their character, you psychos. But yeah, this figure, it's a standard SHF Figuarts figure. It looks good as far as the character needs to look. It's weird that it's a Japanese exclusive, and it really makes me curious what's going to happen to this figure on the aftermarket, being now that, yes, like you said, there is that whole lore that we missed out on because George Lucas caved, and then just because it's Jar Jar and he's such a hated character in this giant fandom, I'm really curious to see if that creates some kind of like demand for him. Hopefully not. But what?
So where did you see that this was a Japanese exclusive?
Toyark.com. You can they'll actually link you over to Bandai, but I don't read Japanese characters.
The other question I have is what's the release date looking like? When do they say that?
October. It's expected to ship in 2024.
2024.
Yeah. Okay. So it's only available to Premium Bandai in the Japanese market. So like if you go to premiumbandai.com and then you go to the US page for it, you're not going to be able to get it there. It's literally just Japan. So make friends if you need to have this figure for some reason. But yeah, that's also why I'm like wondering what the aftermarket's going to be like.
It's going to be outrageous. Why wouldn't they just release this figure internationally? It doesn't fucking make sense.
I don't know. I didn't realize it was here. They're doing exactly what you mentioned. More news at SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con 2024, about the 6.5-inch real Ghostbusters figures. So these are like the original cartoon. Like Dan would like fall out of his chair if he
Shit himself.
learned about this, and then his wife would kill him because he spends too much money on this stuff. But yeah. Actually, no, it's not that he spends too much money on it. He just doesn't have space for it because he has so much Ghostbusters stuff. Um
You know a
Sorry.
guy with a storage unit, Dan?
Man, I have one. Just send
Hey, is it you?
yeah, exactly. Like he'll be like, hey, Matt, you in town? I'll be like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I want to visit the room of my stuff. I'm like, okay. You have a key. Oh, Holothon week 3. Sorry, my eye is really bugging the hell out of me. So you messaged me saying you missed out on something?
So, like, I'm at work when this shit happens, right? So I count on Instagram to, because I follow about 3 or 4 people that post the updates of what like drops right now.
Uh-huh.
And I refreshed all day. I was in and off Instagram, and it wasn't until I got home sitting on my couch where I saw that 7 hours ago somebody had posted, or no, I was still at work, but it was towards the end of the day, right? I was like, I don't believe this shit. Somebody posted at 9 o'clock, which is the moment I arrive at work, log on to Instagram, log on to my fucking computer, start checking my emails, all this bullshit, and didn't see that Holothon was going on. So apparently I'm 7 hours late to the party. However, 7 minutes into it, it was already sold out.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'm
curious. Do we know if these are online exclusives or are they going to be in the store too?
They'll probably be in the store too.
But I'll just keep my eyes open for you. And I'll never see them. But
the thing that NECA does is, yeah, that's why I want it. Is that there is usually 6 months after a drop, they'll open pre-orders, but by the time you get it, it's like a year after the fact. So I will eventually own these, even though I don't need them because they don't come with the swappable heads that the Turtles in Disguise did, which I hope they would.
Well, it comes with the head.
The Evil Leo head. Yes. But I want these because apparently they change the colors every big release, and this is a different shape. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm basically looking for a set that I can mess with, and this would be that set. Because the Turtles in Disguise, I feel like that's their thing. And then I have the original SDCC 2019, 2018 set. Don't want to mess with those. Prefer to buy these and then mess with these.
Yeah. And then they also had the Last Ronin. What is it? Sinja Patrol.
I think we briefly talked about this yesterday. I liked The Last Ronin, but I'm not riding it as hard as a lot of people are. Like, everybody's like, oh, The Last Ronin is so great. I mean, it was good.
People really do go insane on this. Yeah, I wasn't active in the chat. You were talking to Rocky about it, though, yesterday.
It was good. I read it.
I think part of the issue is you have something that functions really well as a standalone, and then you add more to it.
Well, they ended the first book on that cliffhanger, which I just leave it alone. You could have just had it where it was like a closed book and that was it. But everybody wants to cash in and do all this bullshit.
Yeah.
You'll probably never read the book, but April had the turtle DNA, and she was creating 4 baby mutant turtles of her own. So Last Ronin 2 will pick up with those 4 new turtles, essentially.
Gotcha. So it's Last Ronin 2, New Ronin?
So dumb. Why?
I don't normally give a shit about McFarlane DC Comics figures, but this Mr. Freeze is kind of a cool release.
Yeah.
So just for the sake of the link, it has Ambush Bug, who nobody fucking knows about, Mr. Freeze, and then Booster Gold.
My favorite character, Ambush Bug.
Yeah, right. they're 7 inches, which is typical for McFarlane's stupid ass scale. But I think for a figure like Mr. Freeze, it makes sense because he's in like this mech suit. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, the suit doesn't really give you that bit of leeway to justify them being that tall. But luckily, as Pete loves to point out, Legends figures are 6 inches. So, and like this isn't going to go against like any other figures. So it's Batman character. So I don't know. Just rambling. His head looks like an egg. That's a huge dome he's got there under that glass dome.
Yeah, I don't like how this looks. I'll be honest. I think Mezco did a great job. The suit is a little bit baggy on the Mezco, but I'm 100% okay with it because overall the figure's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll take that little bit of a baggy suit to get better articulation out of it pretty much every day. This figure wasn't as cool looking as I thought it was going to be. Oh, Ambush Bug looks awesome, though. Holy hell. Look at him with the schnoz antennas. Oh, yeah. And then he has this green diaper joint for his hips. I didn't fucking want to zoom in. Jesus, Nightmare.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You want to check out that bug PP.
Stop talking about it. In Mayfex releases, we have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Where is it? I saw it somewhere here. Yeah, so this is up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store and Ami, and then other websites, probably like Entertainment Earth and such.
Did you pre-order it?
Chosen Prime. What?
Did you pre-order it?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it before you even sent me the link. I didn't realize how not up to date you were on. I kind of assumed that you knew all this stuff before I did. So when you were like, "Thanks for sharing," I was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." So yeah, next time I see something, I'll just say something.
Yeah, I figure I just like dump stuff in the chat so that way we could mutually talk about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, I pre-ordered this.
I think that the Spider-Man aspect of it looks really good. I know that Mayfex face sculpts can be kind of hit or miss sometimes. And this Tobey Maguire, it looks good there. But the one face where he's smiling, if you get the right angle, it's gonna look like awesomely creepy. So I'm curious to see how this actually comes in the physical release. But yeah, I pre-ordered it. I'm really excited for it. I hope.
I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with this figure. Like, I usually collect comic stuff, so for me to buy a movie figure is a little out of my scope here.
I get that. I'm hoping that they do Andrew Garfield next.
Probably will.
You say they probably will?
Probably will.
It makes sense. But like the other thing, and I think I mentioned this before, is like do a fucking Green Goblin figure then. And do Doc Ock and do the laser what?
Comes with a pointing finger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does it come with 2 pointing fingers?
They don't show the hands.
Give us a little tease. I see what you're doing there.
They have to. I don't know why they wouldn't. We'll see though. But yeah. But yeah, do some goddamn villains. Like there's such a dearth of any villains from anything but Legends, really. Like SHF barely makes them. They did a Green Goblin, okay, I'll give you that. But you didn't do a Doc Ock. You didn't do the Lizard. You didn't do Electro.
Did Legends do the Lizard? Or not Lizard? I'm sorry, Doc Ock. I know they did.
Legends did Green Goblin and Doc Ock. The Doc Ock I think is like a $40 one because he has all the tentacle arms, which he should. But yeah.
The only way I'd buy a Jamie Foxx Electro, and I know they won't do it, which is why I'm protesting, is if they include that electricity that shouted out the OG mask effect on his face.
Oh, where
I will buy that motherfucker. Otherwise, I'm good. I'm good with the movie villains.
That's fair. And that's the other thing is a lot of people like it's kind of weird actually because typically like Star Wars was created basically to sell movies or fuck to sell toys. Like Star Wars was created to sell toys. Uh the Marvel movies don't.
Sorta.
It
I
was
mean, Lucas was like a hard on for like the storyline, and then his wife apparently was the saving grace that helped make well, his wife at the time because they divorced after the third episode or something like that, which is why everything after that has been questionable. But I digress.
he
But he
wrote it
retained
for
the toy
himself.
rights.
The reason
According to
it
Bill.
became a movie is because they were like, yeah, we could sell toys of this.
No.
It's truth. Yes. I've seen interviews where they talk about that. That's why Star Wars came to be. Where the fuck is Chris?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's call. Hey Google, call. No, I'm joking. I'm not doing it.
I was like, are you gonna say it out loud?
I'll put it on speakerphone and everything.
Well, that's what. Like, he'll just like 2 hours later, he finally answers the question. Maplex is also doing a Forlom figure because we're talking about Star Wars. Forlom is a fucking character from Star Wars. This guy from The Empire Strikes Crack. He has a gun and a bug face with mechanical parts, and that picture is really bad of him. Don't blow up the picture so bad that it pixelates like that. Jesus Christ, it looks like 1996 all over again.
Was he one of the assassins when Vader or bounty hunters when Vader was looking for Luke?
Yes, he is in episode.
There it is, briefly appearing in episode 5 as a bounty hunter recruited by Darth Vader. Yeah. Okay. The only one I really remember was Boba Fett and then the snake-looking guy.
I think it's funny that Boba Fett like basically ruined the book of Boba Fett. Some people like it, but I'm like, what Boba Fett had going for him was his ambiguity. And then they're like, let's focus on him as a character and make him this anti-hero because there's not enough of those. And then we could do all these other things that people are going to fucking hate.
I think I should go back and really watch the Rebels. I think that's where Boba Fett showed up again. Because if I'm going off the movies, I could give a fuck about Boba Fett. The guy fell into a Sarlacc pit and got eaten by a monster. And don't get me wrong, he looked cool when he showed up on screen, but he sucks.
But people
sucks in his job.
People loved him based off those first 3 movies, and you're like, fucking why? He's not that cool. He looks cool. He has a helmet, and you don't fucking see his face, and like he has that whole thing going for him. But yeah, he sucks at his job. Like it started with a Cracked article that was written back in the day, but like if he's a bounty hunter, like don't vaporize your fucking things. It's like if you're a hitman who waits until they're fucking cremated to bring them back and show proof of the kill. Like, what are you fucking doing?
I think Chris talked to us about that though, didn't he? Didn't he say like it turned out that he was getting in a fight with the guy or he got ambushed and so he had to like it was
it's not in the movie. It doesn't matter. Because
that's the other thing. That's the other thing. You had so much opportunity to redeem this fucking character and you did The Godfather, but cheesy.
Yeah. If it's not in the movie, it doesn't fucking matter. And I get that people love all the supplemental books and everything that builds upon the lore, and that's awesome. Enjoy it by all means. Enjoy what Disney then cut out and said is dog shit, and then tried to slowly bring back specific parts of it. Like if you enjoy all that stuff that is pre-Disney, fucking enjoy it. Have a ball. But like
unpopular opinion, I think Robert Rodriguez is a bad choice too.
I didn't.
He has a level of camp to his stuff, and he brought it to Boba Fett. And
he had to do it. He was Jango Fett.
Huh? Robert Rodriguez, the director, did Desperado, The Mariachi, Machete.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant.
The one with the strippers, Dust Till Dawn.
Yeah, Grindhouse.
But what half? I can't remember the name of that movie. It's like Planet something, Planet Terror.
Planet Terror, yeah. Um, yeah. So I was talking about the guy they cast in the role, who also is also Aquaman's daddy.
Him, I don't mind. What's his fucking name? Him, I don't mind.
You're talking about
unfortunately for the act, Tamora Morrison. Yes.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that he has to act what's in the script. So it's not like he's like, oh, I'm bringing my own spice. He did fine in the role. It's just how the guy's written sucks.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's another thing that kind of goes back to Marie Tran and people fucking threatening her life is like, and okay, they're actors. It's not like this fucking super vital position or anything like that, but like they're still doing what they're fucking told. They're no different than the cashier who can't give you a discount on their shit because the fucking store policy says you can't do it. They have what they're told to do, and that's what they do. If all of that shit comes together and forms a terrible movie, it's not their fault unless they fail to do it in a way that actually works. Her doing her lines and everything isn't what made that movie suck. The lines make her character suck, but that movie being a giant fucking... This is the first time in any Star Wars thing ever where suddenly fuel became a fucking plot point or anything to be concerned about. Like, the whole Rebel fleet runs out of gas at the same fucking time, so they're literally just trying to not get dicked in the butt. Like, what the fuck? And then we have 2 bombing ships, and we're going to send them on a bombing run, but they're going to hold hands so that if one gets taken out, it's all fucked. Like, you're fucking stupid. Rian Johnson, I think, wrote and directed that, and he's a piece of shit. He was going to get his own trilogy, and I don't even give a shit about Star Wars, but fuck Rian Johnson. You want to do death threats? Still don't do them. But, like, hate mail's fine. Send Rian Johnson hate mail about The Last Jedi because it's a piece of shit. The only good thing that came about that movie is that they finally, kind of in the style of Rogue One, they kind of addressed that there are things outside of the fucking rebellion where you see all these rich people at their intergalactic casino and shit. Fine. There's stuff outside of this conflict where people are just like living hunky-dory or profiteering off of it, but like everything else about that movie is dog shit. You had also had an opportunity to just, because unfortunately Carrie Fisher passed away, you had a fucking opportunity to write her out. But no, you made her fucking ghost herself over with the Force into the other part of the ship. Like, I don't even care about Star Wars, but that movie's a fucking atrocity. Oof.
Oh, he did help write it. Oh, Rian Johnson, you suck. I was gonna say it's really not his fault either. It's more the writer's fault, but he wrote it.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he wrote and directed it. He didn't write all of it. Okay, but like even then, like, don't fucking send people death threats. You're insane if you do that.
I do like his Knives Out duology so far, though.
I
like the Knives Out duology so far.
They're super popular. I don't really care about them though.
Also like the Death on the Nile series.
Oh, does he do that too?
No, that's somebody else, but it was the guy that directed Thor. The first Thor.
Oh, fucking the psychopath that decided to make ad scenes to Othello.
Yes. That guy.
Yeah, Bogart, I'll be fine.
Directed by Kenneth Branagh.
What?
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh. Yeah. Thank you.
Great actor. Great actor.
Well, he, like I said, he added scenes to fucking Shakespeare when he adopted it to a film. Like, a bit fucking intense. Othello was already 3 hours long, and then he added shit to it. Well, fuck it. I'm gonna go to other figures. Over on 5K, they're actually doing a re-release. I guess it's been up for a while, but I wanted to bring attention to it because it's really good for customs if you want to make like larger, bulkier, muscled figures. The V-Toys body is in stock, and it's $24. Did you buy any of these, Peter? No.
No, they're a little too tall for me.
They're definitely more of like a larger 6.5-inch figure, but if you're looking for that type of size, like honestly, when we were talking about the Bane figure last week, I think that this buck would be probably a good choice for something like that.
Does it only come in this flesh tone too, or does it come in a darker flesh tone?
That's
That'd be good for like a Luke Cage figure.
I thought that they did have another one, but I'd have to look. No, it's only a Caucasian. Stop. But
the Roman key figures are pretty cool because they came out with like a Hispanic and a black flesh tone too.
Which ones?
The Roman key ones, they sold out pretty quickly, but apparently the articulation is awesome. They're about a 7-inch also. They came with penises. Pretty awkward.
Oh, I think I might remember what you're talking about.
Yeah. The Roman key females are apparently pretty cool too.
So yeah, I originally came to 5K because I keep like overlooking them when we're talking about upcoming things. And I mean, we don't touch on everything, but by any means. But I did see this one, and I wanted to point this one out too. If anyone's looking for an even larger figure, I don't know anything about these. This is the second run of them, so I guess the first one was successful enough. But yeah,
I don't know why, but we had really good Absorbing Man vibes off of this one.
He's a bit of a tank.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, so I guess they're talking about they're trying to pose him like a Superman here, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe like a good Viltrumite villain.
I was just like with that pose.
Yeah.
This one made me think of something, but I can't think of I don't know. I'm curious to see how this one scales. Because like he might be a good if you want to have like a Bane with the Venom injected, but like not the insane size, this might actually be a good figure for doing that type of custom too. Oh fuck! I'm gonna talk about this next, actually, before I forget again. Yeah, Mezco's Captain America figure.
How do you feel about this figure? I'm really interested to hear your thoughts.
It's not perfect, but I'll take it. Honestly, it's definitely more of that Silver Age Captain America,
right?
And I'm curious to see how it looks in hand because even here we have some weird stuff going on with like his hips like and that leg. So I'm curious to see if whoever took this picture just didn't pose the legs properly. Like they have that peg like kind of cockeyed where it should just be straight up. I think what was that noise?
That was me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have one handy. Do you remember by chance if Mezco figures have that drop down hip joint where like you can give them that little bit of height?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So that's
this is comic book accurate, from what I understand. I have the like wooden poster looking thing.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely a Silver Age cap. And for that, I think it captures it really well. Like you have the stupid little boots and the gloves, the coloration, the color scheme. It looks great. And that's Steve Rogers. I mean, you could also probably make that a Hank Pym head if you wanted to. But yeah, I think this looks really good. I'm curious to see how this works with articulation and like how much of a flex we'll get in the abdominal region.
Right.
But yeah, I think for what it's intended to be, I think it's pretty spot on. So
my take on this is it's too little too late. So I saw not Storm Collectibles, Diamond Select recently put out their cap. A lot of people are praising that one. I'm 100% happy with the Marvel Legends Captain America that they did with the light blue costume. He came with the Steve Rogers head. He came with the shield that had the lightning effects and the bullet effects as well, and also came with 6 hands. To me, that was a good Steve. The only thing that's missing is maybe a couple emote faces, maybe an angry face or like you know, I guess an angry face is just about it. But if you guys can grab that, I suggest that over this. Why spend the $80, $90 for this figure?
95.
Yeah, when you basically get everything you need with that Marvel Legends anniversary figure.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
excited for this one. But
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think it looks great. I think the shorts might have been an odd choice. I get that they're going for a particular era, but
Yeah.
you could have grabbed a couple eras just by eliminating those shorts.
Yeah. Well, this is the first one that they're putting out, so there's probably going to be Cap
But
might
this is
he
their
might
second Cap overall. No?
Yeah, but he might be the new Batman since they're like, we can't make any more Batmans. So maybe they'll just start making 1,000 different Captain Americas. Oh man. But yeah, I think it's cool. I am bummed that the price went up because I don't think that this should be $95. I think it should be just the base 80, but everything's going up because we're living a time of manifested inflation. But yeah. There was something else I thought. Maybe not. You playing any video games or no?
Not yet. Hopefully that time is coming soon. That's why I'm excited. Mom's coming.
Oh yeah, that's
watch
right.
those kids a little bit. I'll have a nice 4 or 5 month stretch to actually get back to what I want to do.
I've been playing Returnal. I picked Returnal up again, like to play again. It's so good. It's
You returned to Returnal?
Yeah. It's PS5, so it's a roguelike bullet hell.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
Nope.
So it's procedurally generated. So like you start off and by your crashed ship on this alien world, and then you'll go through a door, and then that next area is pretty much selected from a random assortment of areas for that biome. So like there might be 15 or 20 different rooms it could be, and then it's one of those, and then random enemies or random items are in there, and then you go through doors in that, and like those are procedurally generated until eventually, like I guess they have some kind of baseline for how many rooms should spawn to like get to like your objective or like the boss for that area. But essentially, yeah, you just go through that, and then there's supplemental story that is actually what I'm doing now because there's this whole challenge mode called Tower of Sisyphus, I think it is, and it's just a lot of fun. But like the bullet hell is kind of like Contra back in the day when you'd have to avoid all the shots coming at you. The enemies don't shoot like fine little bullets at you, like they're all like alien creatures and they shoot like these orbs at you, so it's not like they're small and hard to avoid or anything like that. But game's a lot of fun. Really glad that I started playing it again.
I was going to ask you a question. One figure that we kind of passed, but it's fine because it's already released in a different form, but was the Frosted Joker. I
did see that. I could pull that up. It's part of the Three Jokers thing, right?
I don't understand the idea behind the frosted version of this.
I don't either.
But I will say I do like the frosted effect. I'm not going to buy the figure, but I would love to see an Iceman that looks like this. I know McFarlane won't do it, but particularly this wash, the way it looks, the way the translucent effect looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's like a Killing Joke Frosted Joker? Why?
It is, man. Yeah, so it's the comedian, so it's Killing Joke.
Do you have any knowledge of like the Loyal Subjects Ninja Turtle stuff? Like articulation? Do you know anything about it?
The Beast Nation ones?
Yeah, I've been thinking about jumping into those, but
I have one. So they're not your high end collectibles by any means. Fuck it. They're on Toy Arc too. Let me pull them up real quick.
Yeah, they're priced pretty.
They're priced really good, and honestly, the figures aren't bad.
I was gonna say it's $35 on Big Bed. Their older stuff seems to be in like the 20s, but
their older stuff is considerably cheaper. Yeah, like I have one of them when it was like $20 because it was at Target, and then I might have gotten it on clearance off Entertainment Earth. I think I have like Leonardo, and then I think I have Rocksteady, and they're not great figures, but they're really popular because it's a good price point. And honestly, I think they're like somewhere around the Playmate, but a little bit better. They're like somewhere between a Playmate and an SHF quality. If you can find one for $20, fucking grab it because it's $20. And then you can kind of see how you feel about them because they've also done different styles. They have this is like one of the newer animated styles, but then they have the classic look, like the retro Ninja Turtles appearance. This is also part of like a deluxe kit, so it's not your standard release from them, and that's why it's that $35 price point.
Just a very interesting line.
So yeah, I've seen this 4-pack before, but these are I have one of these. They're on clearance right now on Big Bad Toy Store, and it's a bit like it looks like a Playmate figure, but the joints aren't that terrible. Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting the version 1 of the IDW comics.
Which one? I don't know which one that is.
It's the top. You have the version 2 up top, so they look like those, but they're colored differently.
Okay, I think actually. So like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the turtles that are on the side of my arcade. This version.
Looking back at that figure, it reminded me a bit more. They're definitely closer to Playmate than the SHF, but I think they're going to be a step above the Playmate. I also think that they're going to be more of an, from what I remember, because it's been like 2 years since I've touched it, it's more of an import scale.
Okay. I thought these were like 1/18 scale.
No. So
I know they're 6 inches. Well, the Shredder's is 6 inches.
Yeah. So the turtles are 5 inches, and then like they have Casey Jones here, and he's also 5 inches.
Not bad.
Oh. Yeah, I've been seeing Rat King.
What is that?
So I pre-ordered this is the Rat King, but Bogart, I did pre-order. So actually, we both have the Vamp. Pete, actually, you did a review for it, right?
Yeah, I did a little quick overview of the Vamp, and I got the missiles that are coming in.
Yeah, mine should arrive on Wednesday. So there's the missile pod that. Wait, is that for the His tank or for this?
It's for the His tank, but I'm going to use it as a standalone because I didn't get the His tank.
Yeah, I got the His tank. It's awesome.
The Valaverse vehicle looks really cool, but I'm interested to see Mezco's version on that. They dropped that one teaser image, and that was it.
We talked about that in an earlier episode, but I was talking a lot of trash on the Vala vehicle, so I pre-ordered it. I'm still not happy. I think I'm going to be disappointed with it, but I got to put my money where my mouth is. I think it's going to be a weird size. It's 19 inches long. The His tank is not a good reference because it's not a standard tank. It's a weird fucking tank from G.I. Joe that can go 60 miles an hour, which is its own weird thing. But like the Vala vehicle it's going to be 19 inches long, and fucking SUVs aren't 20 feet long. Like I just have inherent issues with that length. The Vamp is like 13 inches long. And I get it; it's a two-person vehicle, but yeah,
It's a good size. The Vamp is a really good size. I'm actually pretty impressed with the Vamp. And if Hasbro is able to put out vehicles at that price point, why can't they do the Engine of Vengeance? I understand they have to pay for licensing. They own Transformers, they own G.I. Joe, they don't have to pay for that shit. I understand that if they're doing Marvel or Star Wars vehicles, they have to charge a little bit more. But if they can keep it around that price point, $60 to $80 for a vehicle, they don't have to make it light up or.
If they did Engine of Vengeance without some people might like the light up thing. I think Engine of Vengeance should have been 150.
I agree. Max.
No figures, base vehicle, exchange the wheels, all that extra stuff. No figures, all that extra stuff. But like the car, the wheels, the flame effects, 150 all in.
Yeah. I think my problem is also that they price these tiers as if they're already included in the base price, which bothers me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. When if I ever go down Reddit's talking about like Hasbro, I get really annoyed because I see more truth to the whole thing.
I will say, man, a lot of their offerings lately are stellar, man. I just got the Ant-Man Wasp 2-pack. They announced the Luke Cage and Iron Fist 2-pack.
Which is available for pre-order. Also, that Wolverine we talked about last week. They're all up. They're on Big Bad Toy Store. They're still available on Hasbro.
I've been so busy. I got Sabretooth that I've been waiting for, like this comic accurate, perfect height fucking Sabretooth. I haven't opened the goddamn thing yet. But that's amazing. Just looking at it, and it comes with a civilian Wolverine.
Okay, yeah, I do remember. That is the one I was saying.
That is epic, man. It's weird how Legends will knock it out the park, and then the Engine of Vengeance is always just sitting in the back of my head, like, man, you tried to fuck us, you really did.
Yeah.
Although I thought the Sentinel, when it was first released, was too high, and now I have some serious FOMO. I'm like, shit, I should have bought this. It came with a Master Mold head. It came with a Sentinel head. It came with a destroyed Sentinel head. It came with Bastion. It came with Sentinel Prime.
But that's the thing, though, is the Sentinel. If it was just the Sentinel itself, yes, overpriced. But everybody looked at that price, and then it's like we knew that it was going to meet the stretch goals. It went beyond. They had to add stretch goals to that because it was so successful. But they were thinking that the Engine of Vengeance was going to be do the same exact thing. And I feel like they didn't make the profit margin they wanted to on the Sentinel, and they looked at that as an example with what's his face? The Intergalactic Silver Galactus. And I think that's why Galactus was so much more expensive because he was taller than the Sentinel by a bit. But otherwise, there's nothing that crazy going on there that it needs to be another $150, whatever it was. And they're looking at that stretch goals to try and continue to make the profit margin they want to, assuming that it's fully backed. With the Engine of Vengeance, they got way too fucking greedy and we're like, no, we need to make X profit on it regardless of what we put with it, and it's going to get backed so we can take that risk. And then, bam, it doesn't get made because you guys put way too much of a price point on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Honestly, Bogart, I'd also like to see what Mattel continues to do with their Wrecking line because I'm a big fan of that.
There's another new one that they just came out with. I forget what it was. I meant to mention it to you.
We were talking about it last week. Shit. Was it a motorcycle? No, it wasn't a motorcycle.
I think it might have been a motorcycle.
God damn it. I don't remember.
Mattel Wrestling and Vehicles.
But this is the Valverse vehicle?
Yeah. Oh, there's a monster truck. That might have been it.
Monster truck. Monster truck would be cool.
It doesn't look monstrous. It looks pretty lame. But yeah, like this thing, there's no reason that this should be $185. It's not going to be that good. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be flimsy plastic and that it's going to be. I think it's going to feel
it's
cheap.
the add-ons that he's adding on. Like you could fit what 5 figures in that thing though.
You could fit 4 in the cab.
I'm looking at the picture at the very bottom. It looks like somebody's in the trunk.
I know. I'm scrolling through.
Okay. Comes in different colors. Working winch.
Yeah,
see, that looks awesome. That looks fucking awesome.
We'll see how specifically. We'll see how easily the figure can get in there. I'm
fine with this level of detail. Like at this price point,
yeah.
It's a. I don't want to say it's a tad too high.
It's too high.
180,
185 for this? Yes, it's way too fucking high.
I think he's doing free shipping on his site though. No.
Good for him. You don't have to get it from his site.
Because if you're going through Big Bad Toy Store, you're going to pay that shipping fee. Well, it's only $4, but still. Is there a markup on Big Bad versus Valverse?
I'm looking now. Got it.
Without the attachments, this does look kind of lame. I'm not going to lie. Still too high? Yeah. Just a hair. Just a hair. I think.
Glad your website works, Bobby.
Does it come with all the guns and the attachments and the turrets? And I know it comes with the decals. I can't remember if he said that it comes with all those accessories as well.
God, I fucking hate Big Bad Toy
Store. Oh yeah, there it is.
That's what it comes with.
See, now I'm thinking like, all right, well, Hasbro just gave us a Vamp for about what, $40. This is ×2 the Vamp, 80. Same amount of accessories, gun, gas cans, shovel, fire effects, figure. So now we're saying the figure is what, $20-25. So that puts us at 105. 180 is a little too much. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But then again, he is a private studio, so he's probably not, as vested as Hasbro. So I feel like Hasbro could afford to come down on the price a little bit, where Bobby is meeting his criteria. Like, knocked it out the park, but just too much. Yeah. I think this looks great. But again, like I said, I'm interested to see that Mezco figure. If you don't mind pulling up a picture of that Mezco teaser.
Yeah, let me.
Just so we can compare the two. Let me see this. I'm going to blow this up. Hold on one second. Figure has interchangeable hands. Pistol. Pretty bare bones. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
$300, I'm betting.
You're not wrong. Look at that.
Light up, doors come off, hatch opens, gun that comes off. You could probably swap out the windshield. It's going to have something in the back. It might have a functioning winch. It's hard to tell from just this picture, but the wheels are going to be solid rubber all the way through. This is just my speculation also, but I think that I'm curious. I don't know. The level of detail is really where, oh fuck, my computer's dying. Too many windows open. Yeah, I'm really curious to see the level of detail and everything that comes with it is going to be what really sets the standard for this. I hope it's not 300, but I feel like it will be.
Yeah,
because that's how much the Void mech strike suit was, right? Was that 300?
think it was 350, 400. No,
I don't remember.
but that mech was awesome. Ah, making excuses for him. I hate it.
Yeah, like,
Oh, I'm still salty that they didn't release the black suit one by itself. 350
350. Yep.
plus shipping,
Yeah.
plus taxes.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, round up to 4 if you want to.
Yeah.
And I feel like that thing being so successful is why they're going to do the same thing with the vehicle. And I don't know. It's weird because looking at what they did with that strike suit, I thought it was really cool. So I think that I'm expecting a good level of quality from the vehicle when they put that out.
Hey, Bogart, are you referring to the Ramen Racer or the Odd Frog version? The 112 chop shop.
Fucking Ramen Racer.
$250. Ouch.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. It looks good.
So his pre-sale was actually pretty good. I believe it was $150 initially for like the early bird price, and he gave you like 6 months to try to pre-order this thing. So after that, it went up.
Yeah,
but it's the same price as the S-Lab. You start throwing on the effects and stuff, right? That looks good. It's a nice level of detail. It's too much, but yeah, it looks great. That's awesome. Interchange pack. See, base model, interchange pack, and Inferno. So you have to buy 2 other items to get this full effect right here.
Yes. Yeah, so it's the base model is $250.
And I'm sure the Inferno pack is what, $50?
20.
20? Okay.
Yeah, no, honestly, the add-ons really aren't that bad. But they should just well,
yeah, but you're still talking about $300 for
they should have been included, or it should have been 200 and then the add-ons.
Yeah.
But like, so I will say, I think that this is, and we talked about this before, but this is really new to see this size vehicle. There's no real standard for what the price should be.
I don't know if you've seen me, but I've been harassing Jada Toys to go into the 112th market to start doing vehicles because they already do like the smaller scale
yeah.
Furious line.
I have some of those,
and they've been crushing it on their like Street Fighter line and their Mega Man line. I would love to see Jada do it. I would love to see Mattel get back to more normal vehicles. Like I know, I haven't watched wrestling in a while, but I remember. They used a white van. They used limousines a lot. I think Mattel should start doing that stuff too. And they start pulling us from the other lines to massively buy this stuff.
They could do that. So they could do a Damian Priest championship ride where it's like Damian Priest figure that comes with a limousine or some shit like that. Because Damian Priest won. I don't watch wrestling or anything like that, but I have friends who do. Like our friend Dan loves wrestling. But like my friend Charles up in New York, New Jersey, he actually was like childhood friends with Damian Priest, and he was there at that quote unquote championship event. I mean, it is a championship event. As I'm not going to go into wrestling.
I think there's a storyline where Vince McMahon faked his death by entering his limo, and then like the limo blew up or something dropped on the limo. Like, put out the limo.
Well, that's what he said. Like, just call it a championship ride. He comes with a fucking limousine. You don't have to do anything else. The doors can come off if he wants to do it, but like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Essentially, it sounds like what you're saying is like they're like, hey, people who aren't into wrestling are buying these things. Let's make some and just incorporate them into wrestling. Like, fucking why not?
Yeah,
because they're cheaper vehicles, but like. That means you don't have to care about it as much if like you modify it or something like that.
Right.
And
you wouldn't mind buying multiples, yeah.
Bogart, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so I totally understand what you're talking about with the space. I collect Prime 1 statues. Like I have a 3-foot Godzilla statue behind me. And I have other 3 foot statues. I have the Hiss Tank, the Vamp. I have like all this other shit. Like, I'm waiting to get a house so that I can have like my nerd house and then the normal rooms. But yeah, space is a bitch. I totally get that. And then 3D printers aren't fucking small.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but when I was in the townhouse, we had basically one room dedicated to the 3D printing and to the figures.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'd think I'd forget that, but
yeah. But the way I store my figures has been very helpful for me to be able to collect a lot of things. So I buy those collapsible crates from Costco. And then I put a label on what line or what faction they are. So if it's X-Men, I'll put X-Men in there. But in some instances, I'll do Storm collectibles. I'll do NECA over here. And then if it's Marvel Legends or Mafex, I'll kind of combine them. So I'll do like X-Men, Avengers, villains, blah, blah, blah. And that way I can put them in plastic bags so I have no boxes and all the accessories stay within those bags. And then I have, it allows me to have another shelf where I could just put my vehicles on there.
Yeah. And Bogart, don't say stuff like that because it scares me that when I do get a house, one room or one basement, it's not going to be enough to contain all of my shit. So Pete has these collapsible containers from Costco.
Yeah.
They're basically they fold out entirely, and that's where he puts his figures. What do you put in like between them?
Oh, I don't put anything. I just separate I have like 20 crates, and then I have they're called archiving plastic bags. They're pretty cheap and they come like by $100. So that way there's no oxidation process. The figure won't turn yellow or anything like that. You can put the figure in there. I put all the accessories in the bag, and then the bag kind of protects it, so that way they sit next to each other in the crate.
The bag kind of protects it as you put 20 other figures. Oh my god!
I mean, it works for me.
I say that as if they don't get damaged in boxes or anything like that. So
yeah, no. I haven't had a figure damaged yet. Knock on Melamine.
No, you just never mind. I was gonna throw some shade at you.
Why?
Because I felt like it.
Why?
I have to ship my pile of loot soon.
What do you got in there?
Stuff. I have the 1/6 scale Doc Nocturnal statue. I have
Why? Why'd you buy that?
Because it looks cool.
I mean, it does, but Jesus.
Pencil boxes from Michaels. Interesting.
Oh, I heard about that because it's like a plastic case, and then you can fit the figure and its accessories, I think. That's pretty cool.
That's like some people use like those crazy intense like tool or like even tackle boxes for like Legos, and people probably use tackle boxes for accessories because they have all those little compartments and shit.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, I was actually doing something similar to that when I first started collecting, but then I got into Storm, and Storm had like Goro and Shao Kahn. They were not going to fit in those boxes. Yeah. So I opted for like the 11-inch archiving bags, and they fit pretty much everything. The only thing I haven't been able to fit is like when McFarlane did the Violator, because all the spikes and shit. Yeah, it won't fit.
And I have the old one. Like I have the old. It's at my parents' house. I need to get that shit actually.
I prefer the old one just because of nostalgia purposes, but the new one's pretty awesome.
Malbolgia. Yeah, I have that old one. I also have an old Spawn figure that it doesn't articulate, but it's Spawn, and he's holding Malbolgia's head or Violator's head, and then he's like screaming, and he has this sword covered in green blood and shit. That's a really cool one. I have fucking Tyrant and Mr. X figures at my parents' house from Resident Evil. I need to pick up some of this shit because I definitely have some old shit up there.
Yeah, and make a display out of because I know you got the new Leon and stuff, and you got the Claire and
that Claire is a 12-inch.
Jill. You didn't buy the one with like the rubbery suit?
Oh yeah, I did. I'm getting that one, but that one's not out yet.
Right.
Not for a while. I wish
Right.
it.
Should be soon though, right? Didn't they announce that like almost a year ago?
I don't know. I hope it's good. I hope it scales well because the Lim Toys Leon is so fucking good.
Right.
I wish Lim Toys would just put one out.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Still waiting on that Solid Snake. Lim Toys.
Oh, when they do like an actual Solid Snake.
Yeah, they did a teaser for it like 3-4 years ago, and that was it. Radio silence.
I did not order the Hot Toys Bane. I think I pre-ordered. I might have pre-ordered the armored suit, the Batfleck armored suit, but I can't remember. I might not have.
How do you feel about all these GI Joes hitting very, very soon?
Actually, I just picked up Big Boa and Techno Viper.
I got a notification that some of the other ones are releasing earlier than we expected.
Gamstip? Which ones?
Let me go through my orders. Not sure.
Dude, Big Red Toy Store is weird. Like you get stuff before it even comes into my thing, so whatever.
It is Dreadnought Torch, Dreadnought Gnawhide. Those are coming earlier.
Didn't get them either.
But you exclusively use Big Bad Toy Store?
I pretty much just use Big Bad Toy Store. I am a Hasbro Pulse Premium member now because I got tired of missing out on things because they would sell out, and that gives you like, it gives you free shipping. It might be a threshold, but it gives you free shipping, and then you get an hour to access things before other people. And then if stuff comes back in stock, you get advance notice about that.
Okay. So I do it through Prime, Amazon Prime. I usually do my pre-orders through Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come out a little bit cheaper. Rare. I've only had one issue with Prime so far, and that's when I got the Hawkeye with the Sky Cycle, and his face was printed. So I talked to Hasbro about it. They wanted pictures and all this shit. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to return it on Prime and get another one. That's exactly what
Amazon's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You can keep that. One of the things I noticed about the Techno Viper that I thought was pretty cool was he has this clean or this translucent plastic thing, kind of like we see on Hazard Squad Gomez. And I thought that was an interesting accessory to give him.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
Right? That's it could go on either arm too. But I thought that was a pretty cool accessory to include. And I'm curious if like how much these companies look at each other, what they're doing, to see if like maybe they saw the Hazard Squad Gomez or any of the Mezco figures that have that little LED holographic display kind of come up. And it's pretty cool that they included that in this figure.
I saw somebody selling that Hazard Squad, the black shirt and the brown pants.
Yeah, I got one. I got one from this dude on a Facebook group back when I was active on Facebook.
And he was he was asking for a good price, but he wanted it bundled with Mosquatch. I'm not interested in Mosquatch at all.
I might have both Mosquatches. I know I have one, but I can't remember if it's the black mold one or the green one. But yeah, that Hazard Squad Gomez dude, he's so fucking cool. Like I wasn't sold on him at first because I didn't like the way they humanized his mouth so much. But after having it in hand, he looks awesome. So glad. And I got it for like $130 or something like that. I got it for a really good price, pre-owned, but yeah, I got it for a really good price. And honestly, dude, if it's a good price for the both of them, just pick up that and Mosquatch and sell Mosquatch separately.
Yeah, true. Damn it.
Although I think that Mosquatch is something that you might want to keep just to have a big green villain.
Yeah, but I also have that Man-Thing Build-A-Figure.
I forgot you had that one. You do. Bogart, what Hot Toys you have pre-ordered? If you're still there, because you were asking me about Bane. I have some pre-ordered, not a whole lot. Trying to back off. Well, I haven't been as active in the 112, except I did pick up the 12-inch Firefly.
Oh, what'd you think about that RC car I sent you? The truck.
Oh, that looks cool. It's a bit small. Bogart, I asked what other Hot Toys you were like collecting, like if you had anything else pre-ordered. Um. But yeah, I think that truck looks interesting. Do you have a link for it?
It was on AliExpress. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Gotta watch how many X's I put in Express. And it's weird because it said 1/10 truck, but then somebody had that Cobra Trooper next to it. But yeah, for $50, man, I don't think you can beat that. I mean, it might be worth the buy anyway. Here, I'll shoot you a link. It's an RC also. Not that I'm interested in that aspect of it. But for $45, and usually they do free shipping on kind of these kind of things. Let me see if it says. Price shown before tax. Free shipping. Yeah. So it's free shipping on this. So it's about $46 after tax. Now it's weird because it says 1/10, but we saw a picture, and I don't know if you still have that picture around, but of the G.I. Joe next to it. Did I send that to you on Instagram?
Yes.
All right, let me see if I can pull that up while you're showing this off.
It's a poem box. That might actually be what it's called, but I'm laughing at it anyway.
Oh, remember I was talking about having issues with magnets and orientation stuff last week?
Yes.
Then I sent you that follow-up video about somebody using magnets with 3D prints. I don't know if you really looked at it.
I didn't.
But he recommended a tool that tells you polarity of magnets, so I ended up buying it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like a $2 tool, and you just hold it, and it flips whether it's blue for north or red for south.
This stupid ass thing. So yeah, this truck is around the same size as the van. It's 13.3858 inches long. It's going to be a little over 6. It's like 6.1 inches wide. What are you owing?
I might have to buy it. I think I'm gonna buy it. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it now, but I'm gonna buy it.
Fast delivery, May 7th through the 12th. And then 175. So yeah, and then just about 7 inches tall. So yeah, this is actually, it's 1/10 scale, but it's not. It's pretty much 1/12. 1/12 adjacent anyway.
The only thing is the doors don't open. But that
is,
window looks pretty big. But if worse comes to worse, I will pop out that windshield and then recreate another one, like a removable one. But I think we could design like a trailer for that, make it look like a legit box truck, like a smaller one.
You mean like have the full back and everything?
Opening doors, or at least a tarp or something, like I was telling you, like depending on how.
Yeah. Honestly, this would be great for like Metal Gear Solid 5 type thing for them, like transporting stuff, like just having a tarp over the back to like protect whatever from rain and shit. Like this is definitely a good as like a shady vehicle for like villains or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to do turn it into a Trailer Park Boys vehicle, it could be the Green Bastards little truck. I forget what he calls it. Woohoo!
I feel like I'm going too far back. All I'm seeing is any cubic stuff.
Probably going way too far back.
Amazon adhesives, Spider-Man. No, I don't know. I don't see
Oh,
them.
that's right. You did. Fuck. I'm gonna pull that up real fast. Lightning Man, because we were talking about this earlier. I'll be right back. I really got to go to the bathroom.
So yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. They have the lightning effect for the face. Let me blow this up a little bit. Comes with 6 hands. It's not a bad likeness to Jamie Foxx. Is it just the one head? Yeah, but it comes with the electro face that I was talking about. This is pretty cool. 1/12. I wonder what the description is for that. Let me see. VC Toy Box. Let's see. And this will stand approximately. There's no information. This is just a deposit, not refundable if you cancel. Full price is $117.99. That is a lot. But the down payment is $18. It says that it's 1/12 scale.
All right, sorry, I'm back.
It's by PW Toys.
Only this one image, though.
That's what I was just talking about. There's no really description for it. It just pretty much tells you, here's the figure, here's how much it's going to cost when it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I've ordered stuff through. We both ordered stuff through VC Toy Box before. I haven't had any issues, but when it comes to those third-party studios, it's always a little bit shady.
I think I've heard of PW Toys though before, right? We've definitely got something from them.
Not me.
Is that Venom figure just for the head or for the full body?
This?
Yeah.
Head sculpt.
Head sculpt.
So anyone who's not familiar with VC Toy Box, they have a lot of accessories for 1/12. They also do a lot of third-party figures, but I think that they do probably a considerable more accessories than figures.
Yeah, it's pretty strange though. Like them and 5K have similar items, but there's always a figure or two that one site will have over the other.
Yeah, they're like this Titan Toys Frost Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it on 5K earlier. Looks a lot like World of Warcraft.
You know what I just thought about? I pre-ordered the Godfather figure and I still haven't heard back from it.
VC?
Yeah. Dude, I know that's not their fault. They're probably waiting on whoever makes a fucking figure.
I was about to say, like, there's a good chance that it just is taking that long. Like the fucking Last of Us figures took 5 years.
I definitely pre-ordered that John Wick and the one next to it. Oh, that Hunk figure is definitely worth the buy too. Oh, it's out of stock.
Yeah. So
before the DX is back.
So the DX is still available, dude. For 110, they have 4 left. This is a good figure. If you're looking for a SWAT type figure, this is a good figure. I was impressed with this guy.
If release date for the Electro was Q4 2024. But those don't. It's weird how these sites work. They put up a general date, and if you ask for an update, they might or might not have one. It just depends on if that third party got back to you or not.
Yeah.
But they've been really good about giving you refunds back if you're tired of waiting, or if you don't think the figure's coming out, or if you're unhappy. Like, I see people complain about the communication, but I have not had that issue with either 5K or VC Toys Box.
VC Toy Box is just super chill. So like if I were to pre-order
Hey,
this,
buddy.
yeah, exactly. Like saying, hey buddy, that item you pre-ordered isn't stuck. Please make payment by X date. I'm like, it's so good. And like one time I had to ask him like if I could just wait till I got paid. And he was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Shouldn't be a problem. I'm talking about VC Toy Box. I haven't had any communications with 5K that I know of, but I've also used 5K a handful of times and haven't had any issues with them. So as far as third party websites go, I'll vouch a bit for VC Toy Box and 5K. I know that there are people who complain about 5K. I haven't had issues.
You know what's funny? I don't see that Electro on sale at 5K, just the VC Toys.
That might be this company. PW Toys might not be doing it there.
Yeah.
I saw at first I thought it was somebody making a ripoff Gomez figure, but it's just the God, I hate the way this page loads though. Fuck, it's so annoying. Like it just jumps. But so this is for the leather jacket, and I guess this is in stock. Oh, the leather jacket and pants. So if you wanted fucking website.
If you wanted to make like what is that, Walking Dead guy?
Yeah, Negan. Thank you. I was trying to say that before I got pissed off. And then you can get but then that's the other thing that's so weird is then they'll have like official products like the Hiya Toys. This is a licensed figure. Yeah. I get it. Like that was fuck. So I'm an idiot and I pre-ordered the Last of Us figures from like 3 different websites because it took so goddamn long for it to come out. I couldn't remember if I pre-ordered it. And like one of the problems with VC Toy Box is that you don't have to have an account, or you didn't when I first made my pre-orders. So I didn't have a record. I literally had to go through my emails and find the pre-order email and then screenshot that. So I had the order number and everything. They finally updated it so like I can look at my history, but it's so weird. And then 5K is kind of the same boat. It's a little more structured on their website, but it's still pretty similar. And then it gets really weird when you have 2 items listed and you have to go in and make the remainder payment for something. And then that has a separate link that you have to click. And it's a strange way to do it, but it's probably not the easiest thing to do with the probably cheaper websites that they're running. Like it looks like a decent website, but it's not going to be as expensive as like Sideshow Toys or Big Bad Toy Store. You blown up?
No, I'm just looking up when I ordered that Godfather figure.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. And talking about going back to vehicles, I know I pre-ordered 2 of that little ATV from Hasbro for the G.I. Joes. Did you pre-order one?
The ATV? No, I did not.
Okay. I mean,
I just bought the Mattel ATV.
Yeah. But yeah, I pre-ordered 2 of those. I didn't get the Tiger, whatever, the Island, the other one that they put out. I'll probably see it in stores because Targets around me actually get stuff, and then I can usually find G.I. Joes at GameStops. So we don't really go into it much on here, but we did kind of mention like Hasbro Pulse Prime and everything like that. Jazzwares has this thing, and like Jazzwares really doesn't do much that's relevant to what we talk about other than Halo figures, but Jazzwares does Pokemon. They do Halo. They have wrestling, and then they have Hello Kitty, I think, and then a couple other licenses. And then they started this thing called Jazzwares Vault, which is like a free thing, but like they have things that are available and released only through the the Jazzwares Vault, and that's what they just did. Like this is the third drop from it or something like that, but they finally had some new Halo figures, and one was a Master Chief figure, which they've had done 50 times already. But then there was like a 5 pack, and that was at the smaller scale. So I'm curious to see if that's how they're going to be releasing like those types of figures, because Target doesn't have a spot anymore. GameStop might not be receiving them anymore. Like the Spartan collection has been pretty good overall, but the availability is a real pain in the ass. And if you try to contact them, they're just like, so that's a real bummer.
Yeah. Well, Jazzwares was flying high at one point, and then they just went away.
I don't think that they can support themselves. I don't think. I think that. I think it's they flew too close to the sun. I don't know for sure. Either that, or they just can't keep up with the production that they need to actually sell and maintain inventory at stores. Because Target used to sell the Halo shit. They have the World of Halo, which is like a 1/18 scale type, and then they have the Spartan collection, which is roughly like your 6.5-inch scale, and nobody has them anymore. GameStop might still have the Spartan collection, but have a good night, Bogart. Thanks for coming in. Always a pleasure to have someone in the chat active. Have a good week. But I think that we're about done here too, unless there's anything that you wanted to bring up.
No, I'm still working on the phone booth refresh. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the plastic. I'm thinking maybe just recess that area so a piece of plastic could fit in, and then do an overlay that's magnetic that'll just stick to it to kind of hold it in place even more.
Yeah, you could do that.
I don't know. Yeah, I got a lot to think about. Because right now it's broken in. I could show you. I don't know if you want to see it.
I can pull it up.
Let's see. Window. Share. Yeah, so right now it's going to be like a peg system. The reason being is you get cleaner prints when everything's flat. So the outside would be the textured PEI part. And then I'm thinking about recessing the area where the plastic goes. So I have about a 1/4 inch here, so I could recess it about 1/8. And then put a recessed lip all the way around. And then a magnetic piece maybe right here in the middle. So that way it'll snap and hold in place. Maybe I should do top and bottom. Probably better. Maybe middle and bottom, because the top is going to be like a tiny lip here, about a 1/16. That'll hold the phone sign here. Well, not so much the phone sign, but I'm making this a pop top. Let me see if I could. Let me show you real quick what I'm thinking. So this goes up and down into the top, and basically these will all be recessed with their individual phone signs as well. And you'll be able to drop this in. This is going to have clips, 2 clips for the balloon lights. And then that way it'll be a bottom that holds in place here, that has the circular kind of like smoky light that's in there.
Right.
Yeah, so it should look more, authentic. And then this is where the phone will go. So this pushes out the receiver a little bit to be able to bolster that. This is the original phone booth with the door. So we are getting rid of the door, but we're making the post wide here and wide on the back, which is true to what the actual phone booth looks like. Should be interesting. We'll see. So I'm going to print this like this. Interested to see how this comes out at an angle.
Yeah.
But also need to figure out how the click and lock system is. So all the pieces are currently a fourth, which gives me a good amount of play to put at least a 1/8 hole on the opposite sides, and then make those slot in somehow. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm still toying around with ideas, but it's funny because you really don't know until you get it in hand.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a huge difference between looking at it and then planning it, and then everything's perfect, and then fuck, 3D printers aren't as accurate as they need to be.
Right. Right. Which is why I enjoy giving myself like an 1/8 of space. So that's more than enough, especially all the way around for the most part.
Right.
So we'll see. Other than that, one thing I want to do is I want to see if I can print the wall pegs flat on the build plate, so that way we're avoiding supports except for maybe the actual peg area.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about suction, so we'll see how that goes.
I was gonna say, like, it's really dumb, but like, unfortunately, things don't like to resin print flat, like against a build plate, because
Yeah.
the suction. It's such a weird thing. Resin printing is a monster. But okay, thanks for coming, everybody. Pete just bounced because he's a really cool guy. For those who care, I put together a Lego set the past few days. It's the Knight's Castle, and it's a really good one. And if you have the money that you want to spend on it, it's worth it. You're not coming back in now, you son of a bitch.
That's the wrong button. Sorry.
I know. So hey, everybody, I'm Matt from Shadow Moses 112. We have to redo the whole thing. I hope you took notes. But yeah, I'm Matt from Shadow Moses 112. I'm gonna be trying to figure out some of the new things that we're gonna be doing with the stream going forward. We might actually start recording or something like that. I don't know. I gotta get with Dan because he's
Okay.
gonna do. Well, he said that you talked to him. It's like I don't know.
I just talked to him. I said, "Hey, I heard you were interested in like helping to produce," and he was like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." He was like throwing ideas out there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know if Matt needs the help or not." So that was it.
Okay.
And I was talking about buying StreamYards. He's like, "You don't have to do that. I have a whole different program that does everything StreamYards does." And then I got scared because StreamYards has been so good to me.
StreamYards has been really good. And what he uses is what we tried and hated. Well, he uses OBS.
Oh, okay. I don't remember him saying that name specifically, but
I'm pretty certain that he uses OBS, and like we messed around with that before, and we were using the free version, so that might have been part of the obstacles. We were trying to figure out this whole thing. But anyway, we're still on air. If you want to poop your pants, make sure no one's around and that you have a spare pair. Pete, any last words?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you enjoyed what you watched tonight, please tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. We're always live on YouTube. If you'd like to see what we're working on, head to Instagram at ShadowMoses112. Or if you want to add our accessories to your collection, such as the arcades that we have, or the phone booths that we produce, or we're currently working on some diorama stuff, check us out at ShadowMoses112.com. Hurry up and grab those accessories to the collection. I'm trying to make those backwards compatible so they'll be able to function on the new diorama sets.
Pete's also making some new stuff that he's not talking about, like little trash cans and stuff that looked pretty fucking cool from what he showed me. And I, of course, remembered at the very end of the stream. So do you want to just do it next week?
I actually have it right here.
Oh,
so this is the New York trash can, or the outdoor trash can that I was working on. To keep it authentic, I think you and I were talking about it a little bit last week. You said to make an insert, so I did. The only thing is there's a Z banding issue right there.
That's inevitable, but it's inside. It's a trash can. I don't think we should worry too much about the Z seam on something like that.
I was gonna say vase mode, so maybe I could try printing this in vase mode to see if that changes anything.
In what?
Vase mode. where it does the continuous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. I didn't consider it. That's
I've
actually
never messed with vase mode, so that'll be a first for me.
that's
So we'll
a
see how
that's a
that
good
works out.
call.
I used no supports on this, so there was nothing that came out beautiful. The handles.
It looks really good.
The only thing is I want to use a little bit of supports here because the undersides of this are a little messy. And although you probably won't notice in the photography, I notice that shit and I don't like it. I want my stuff to look good. The liner fits in there perfectly. You can fit trash bags if you already have some in there. I think they scale a good height. I put some pictures on Instagram. You can check Instagram out.
You posted pictures. They actually looked really good on the Instagram too.
Yeah, and I picked these up off of Amazon. These little.
How much were they on Amazon?
They were 5 for $2, one in green and one in blue, and they scale pretty well.
Yeah, we talked about making those types of trash cans, but we're like, they're so affordable to do elsewhere. To take the time to really design and recreate it ourselves. Like, I don't necessarily want to do. I don't want to avoid making something because somebody else does it. But if somebody else does it and it's that price, if it's such a good price point, I don't think we really need to fuck around with it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it anyway.
That doesn't hurt to have it, but like,
yeah. But I want to show them on the stream just to show that there is an affordable set on Amazon for $5. We will design. I will design a set of these in the blue and the green. Maybe not a yellow top, but
did you say you will design it like as if I wouldn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bitch,
I'll have that together. And
you just said you didn't want to do it because it was already there available for affordable price.
I more so meant like, because we've talked about things that like other places do. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I'm planning on doing the dumpster too because I've been asked about that, and I was like, well, Wrestling Superstore has them. They're like, nah, I don't really want it from Wrestling Superstore, whatever reason that was.
So that is one of those. That is the one. Like, as I was saying it before, that's the one caveat that kind of came to mind. Is like, well, if you don't want to buy it from Amazon, because there are people who have like principled stances, and like back when I bought Fortress Maximus. There was somebody who was trying to, and I don't remember how I stumbled upon this, but somebody else bought Fortress Maximus, the Transformer, and they bought it through eBay or they bought it through some website and it never shipped. And they were like, oh, I need to check my inventory. And then when they finally received it, it was in like a box from like Amazon or eBay or something because they had to go out and third party it to get it to that original person. And yes, the person got exactly what they paid for, but because it came through a source that they didn't want to give their money, they were pissed. And I get that. And when you brought up that trash can, I was actually going to ask who makes that, because if people don't want to support the fucking monstrous conglomerate that Amazon is, they might have another website or you might be able to find it somewhere else. But also, you could also just Google trash cans and then find bunch at like Home Depot or something and then say, no, that's not what I'm looking for. And then you say like 1/12 scale trash can and Google's like, here's Home Depot again, idiot. And you're like, no, that's still not what I want.
The company that makes this is WeOC.
So WeOC that being sold in the United States by anyone other than Amazon. And on that, I'm going to call it. Have a good evening.
Guys have a good night.
Good evening, everybody. Again,
Thank
goodbye.
You for joining us,
Have a safe week. The end of April. We're all going to die.